Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
And congratulations and happy 50th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Big deal.
Yeah, we had a big celebration on Saturday. It was really cool, and we had, I think, all the right people in the room to celebrate together.
Tell us a little bit about that celebration. What was that like for you?
As you see in the picture, there's lots of balloons, so that's what you need for a celebration. When you're in the day-to-day work, you're just always kind of going about the business, and I think you just kind of forget the impact you're making sometimes. So for me, it was really special just being able to see all the faces in the room. We actually had the founder's son, so Bev Gardas, who passed away several years ago, who started this back in the 70s. Her son, who had probably been 10 years old at the time, who then in the 90s became the manager of the shelter for a while. He was there and able to, thank him for what his mom did and the part he's played. We've had people that have been giving for 50 years. We've had staff that were working there 50 years ago. So it was just a really special time to see the community coming together.
Yeah, like you mentioned, people that have been giving for 50 years. You do have a lot of folks that have been loyal over the course of the existence of the Interfaith Shelter.
At all amounts, every week or two when I'm signing some of those thank you letters that go back to people, sometimes they're for $1 or $2 a month, and other times they're for much more than that. And so it's just really cool seeing that no matter what people are able to do, they participate in this work.
Well, the highlight of the night, and there were many, but the announcement that you are launching a capital project to build the family shelter.
Yep, so we kind of officially put it out there to the whole community, and that was really exciting. And what was most appreciated by me, the people that have really come significantly behind it, they shared their story, but they also invited others to give, so it wasn't me up there kind of pleading with people, but them just saying, here's why we think this matters, here's why our foundations are getting behind it, and encouraging the community, and already some significant gifts have come in response to that, which has been a blessing.
So talk us through the location and particulars.
Yeah, so the block right around the shelter, we own most of the houses around it, and we're able to actually secure a little bit of property, not necessarily knowing we were going to do this, but there were 2 open lots from when the city had kind of taken down a lot of homes several years ago, and so it just made sense to get those lots that were touching our property. So as you see in the picture there, it's going to be right next to our current building. It's going to be completely detached, but right close by, so that you'll be able to kind of work together and utilize staffing in efficient ways. And if there are meal type of things that you need to help with, you can do that. So yeah, right on the corner there, Wesley and Blackstone. And then that's kind of some of the renderings. It's just really fun when the initial blueprints were coming together. It's really hard to get a feel for what is the space and does it need to be bigger or smaller. But now that we're getting some of the 3D renderings, you can really start getting a sense. And that's kind of a look at the bedroom. If we bunk, we could do up to 8 beds in one room. Usually it's probably going to be an average of 3 to 5 in a room, depending on the size of the family. Large dining space where people actually make their own meals, so there are going to be several ovens, and we can do cooking classes and help people supplement the food that we provide with going to Kroger and all that kind of stuff together. So just really excited about that.
Yeah, you had several of these organizations represented at the dinner. The John George Jr. Trust Board of Trustees in attendance as they announced this huge $3 million matching grant. And a lot of the other folks were there as well. Plus a lot of individuals with dollars and small dollars all adding up to a big project.
Yeah, and for us, it's because I do the work because it's important work investing in the people. So that's why you do it, and you need to do things like this so that you can create the space and keep the lights on to actually help people. So I'm just super grateful to not need to be shaking the bushes for the next 2 years, and all the focus is on just pleading with people to support. But the way that just amazing outpouring from people's hearts just to hear about what's going on, no arm twisting, maybe me not even asking, and they're getting behind. So now we can just keep focused on the day-to-day of working with the people that are right in front of us. So it's been a gift to our staff to be able to have that support so quickly.
So when this is done, you'll really have a campus essentially. How will this family shelter, basically tell us what's going on now with families. Where are you placing them, and kind of what's happening?
Yeah, what's really brought the need up, so the last several years we've fixed everything at the shelter, top to bottom, and just created the best space we could out of what we have, which was a small church that we took over close to 50 years ago. And so a place that was never intended to be a shelter. And so it went from 10 to 15 people, could be in the dining room, and you'd sleep in the dining room and everybody there, to building the dorms in the 90s. So now it's a men's dorm with 32 beds, and it's a women and family hallway with 44 beds, and so 76 total beds in that small space. So right now, if it's a room with 8 people, if it's just a mom and 3 kids, we might be having 3 single women with that family, because you also don't want to then put out a lot of people in need, and so you're mixing and matching in different schedules, and so to be able to have everybody in the phase of life with children together, and it's just going to be a huge asset to the parents, to the kids, and then we'll also be able to serve a lot more single women, because right now if a lot of families and kids are at the shelter, that means there's a lot fewer beds for single women, and so that's going to open a lot of space at the current facility for single women that are in need.
So as the community's homelessness problem has become a topic really of concern for so many, how does this, once it's completed, what does homelessness look like in the community?
I mean, for us, I mean it when I say I would love to work ourselves out of a job. And so even as we're building more space, it's in a way where you're offering that wraparound support, those rehabilitative services, targeting the need that got them there in the first place. So hopefully it means there's less and less homelessness. Maybe some of the people that have been in and out of homeless shelters for the last 20 years, we would love for this to be the last time that they're there. And if there's greater need or things grow, then we have more space to accommodate more people.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you already mentioned this and I wasn't paying attention, but do you have a timeline?
So the rough timeline, and with building projects, you never want to say exact, the very preliminary. So we're working with Jason Koval's our architect. He's been wonderful to work with, and then Mercer's is who's doing the building. So if things go as planned, there's one house that's going to need to come down that probably in the next 3 to 4 months will be coming down. Maybe late summer, early fall this next year, groundbreaking for the new space, and then they said it's usually 14-ish months, so it could be early 2027, potentially up and running. Again, we're not hard and fast on that. That was kind of the initial things they've put out there. So, it's not going to be up overnight, but it's not going to take forever either.
So I'm curious what the Castle family Thanksgiving is going to be like. I met your mom at the dinner, and she's very nice. She's great.
She's lovely.
Yeah, shout out to Steve's mom. Is she a good cook?
She is, yeah. A lot of meat and potato style. After Sunday church, it would always be the roast. My dad's a pastor, so he'd come home and,
What are you responsible for at the dinner table?
Nothing.
Yes, just showing up. That's very good.
My mom, it blesses her to serve people. And so she'll, she just wants to keep refilling your coffee, and she just loves letting you sit there and taking care of you. It blesses her heart, and it blesses mine to sit around and be lazy. So everybody wins.
Nice. And at the shelter itself, what's Thanksgiving like, Steve?
Grand River Brewery actually just donated a bunch of smoked turkeys and brought them over yesterday, so we were deboning them all. And so we just kind of do the big Thanksgiving feast with all the fixins, and then we do our normal 3 meals a day, but the lunch meal's the big one. And the last couple of weeks we've had our great thankfulness turkey on the wall. So at each table there's pens and feathers, and so people can be writing what they're grateful for and then stick the feather up on the wall. And so the turkey's overflowing with gratitude feathers now.
Very good. Well, Steve, congratulations again on the 50th anniversary celebration and all of the success from the capital project going on right now. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Thanks, you as well.
Steve Castle, the CEO at the Jackson Interfaith Shelter. More of the show right after this.